Hello everyone and welcome to St Paul's Cathedral, the home church for Anglicans in the Diocese of Melbourne. Once again today for our Bible talk, I'm joined by our Chief Props Officer, Andreas, our Dean. Hello Andreas, how are you?
Hello Helen, lovely to have you back.
Thank you. I'm so relaxed after that holiday. We're having a very relaxed Bible talk, a restful one today. I've just really wound down and we're keeping it going, enjoying the relaxation.
What a good idea.
Yes, it's good to be able to share it. And as you can see also, our Chief Prop, whose name I won't say because otherwise he'll jump up off his bed, he's here with us too, having a very relaxing time on his little bed. And once again too, thank you for all the correspondence we've enjoyed this week. It's lovely to hear from you. Do feel free to get in touch if you'd like to. Well, for our restful Bible talk today, we're going to start with a question. What do you want to be when you grow up? I often wonder about that question.
It's a really good question, isn't it?
It is. I often think, if I was to grow up, what would I be? I don't know. We're still yet to work it out. Anyway, well, I wonder, if you wanted to be a star footballer, I know you're pretty keen on being a star footballer, Andreas. What do you think is involved in that?
Well, I reckon you'd have to learn to play footy and there's plenty of matches and practice and there's probably buying footy boots. That's a good one, isn't it? Training, fitness work, getting into a team I think is pretty important as well, I guess.
Quite a lot involved, yes.
Playing lots and lots of games and you have to be better than other people trying to prove that you're good enough to play in the first team.
Yeah.
And then I guess you have the satisfaction of being a part of that team.
Right. Oh, that's quite a lot, isn't it?
It is quite a lot. If you were going to be a ballet dancer, not that we are gender stereotyping in these talks,
It would be ballerina if we were.
what would you have to do?
Well, gee, I imagine it's, well, I have actually got some friends who do that. They had years and years of lessons, they had years of exams. They had years of tutu and tights buying and practice and rehearsals, and they had ballet productions and auditions for ballet schools, and then more rehearsals and recovery time for injury, ballet shoe shopping, hairstyles, makeup, costume making, more rehearsals. And then after all of that, you still have to be better than all the other people trying to get into whatever it is that you're trying to get into, say a ballet company. And then once you're in, you still have to prove that you're good enough, say, to be a principal dancer. There's lots of things, actually, like that in life, I think, that require that we work and work and work, and we try and try and try again. And then maybe we have the satisfaction of knowing that we're at the top of our game, better than others, and we're able to do what we've aimed at.
So that goes for school, doesn't it?
Yes.
For study, for
Yes.
sports.
Yes.
Goes for music and the arts.
Yep.
For uni and for work.
Certainly.
And oftentimes it also goes for relationships with other people, doesn't it?
Yeah, which is interesting because becoming a Christian is completely the other way around. We can never be good enough, holy enough, perfect, sinless, seeking of God's glory. We just can't meet that standard. When we become friends with God, we do that because Jesus is all of those things already, and through his death on the cross, he's dealt with all the failures we make in our bids to be good enough for God. If we say that we are with Jesus, that we believe in him and trust in him, that we follow him, then we are in with God.
And that's when the work starts, isn't it?
Yes,
Not the other
that's
way around.
right.
That's when the
It's the
work
other
of
way.
our becoming good at being Jesus' friends begins, about learning holiness, about learning goodness, about learning faithfulness, about learning graciousness and kindness, learning to love other people, learning to know peace, and learning to tell other people about God. And that's sometimes quite a scary thing for some people, and how other people can be friends with Jesus too. As soon as we say that we want to follow Jesus, that we accept his death on the cross for our lives, then we're in with God, and his work on us through the Holy Spirit begins, because God makes us more and more like Jesus.
Yeah, it's not that easy, is it? It is hard work, but it's fabulous work.
That's right.
Well, now, this week in our reading from the end of chapter 11 in Matthew's Gospel, we will hear Jesus say, "Come to me, all you that are weary and carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." We rest in Jesus because we don't have to be good enough at being a Christian to start being one.
And then Jesus says, doesn't he, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I'm gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light.
My yoke is easy. Actually, we've got a yoke here. You're the props officer.
I
Why don't you do something about
actually,
that?
it's not yet a yoke, but we'll make that happen. So yoke is the yellow bit of the egg, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
So
However,
like
of
this.
course, now that we've just done that, that's actually not the kind of yoke we're talking about today.
No.
So the yoke that we're talking about is the one that we'll see now in the picture, which Andrew Victorson, our magic camera person, will be assisting us with. That yoke that you can see in the picture is a yoke that helps us walk alongside, guiding us. It refers to a yoke that would be put on farm animals, and it would help them to plough together, pull a plough together so they walk straight. It helps them to share in doing the hard work together. And Jesus says we should let him share in helping do the hard work of becoming like him together with him. We should walk with him and work with him and learn how he does it. And we do this through reading the Bible, through praying, through listening for God's voice, through learning from him, and from learning with other Christians, through using the gifts and talents God gives us, and through worshipping together with other friends of Jesus.
And if you're not yet a friend of Jesus, you can choose to be one now. Because Jesus says, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and who are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light."
Fantastic.
That was a lovely,
words.
restful Bible talk, Heather.
It is. I'm feeling very relaxed. Look how relaxed Archie is. He
That's
hasn't
wonderful.
moved one step.
It's lovely to see you all. See you
right.
again next week. Stay
Bye.
warm.
We should drink our tea while it's
We
hot.
should. That's lovely.
Bye.
Bye-bye.